Namaskaram everyone. So I had a question from one of you. I'm not saying who. Okay. Interesting question. Okay. So what is the difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Hatha Yoga? Hmm. The question is, what is the difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Hatha Yoga? Okay. So anybody has an answer to that? Rachel, you remember what the answer is? What the difference between Hatha Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga? Hmm? Okay. Okay. So this probably 2000 plus years back, Patanjali wrote this book called Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Okay. So in that, Patanjali explains 8 parts of yoga. To reach the state of yoga, you have to go through 8 parts. It's an 8-part process. That is explained as Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. That's how it's all started. Even before that, yoga was there, but Patanjali is the one who wrote it as Ashtanga Yoga. And then what happened was, in early 1900s, okay, there was this teacher, famous teacher called Krishnamacharya. He was teaching in Mysore Palace. Very famous person, he was quite good at yoga as well as Ayurveda. He was also a healer, right? And I think he lived to be around 100 years. So to train the warriors of the Mysore Palace, he created a form of yoga, okay, so which combined, when you train warriors and all, especially princely people, you need to have some energy into normal yoga process. So if you just show them a bit of breathing exercises and stretching, they will not be interested, right? So to attract and keep their attention, he added a lot of gymnastic style exercises into yoga, okay, to make it very attractive and energetic. It was like a strong type of yoga, and he named it Vinyasa Yoga. And then you had a couple of his famous students. His two famous students were Iyengar and Pattabhi Joyce. These were two famous students. Now, but both of them took yoga to the West, okay, and they made what we see people practice yoga in the West. These are the people who created that, right? The physical component of it. So Pattabhi Joyce was very similar to Krishnamacharya, okay, gymnastic style, Hatha Yoga poses done dynamically along with breathing exercise. Okay, so you had Krishnamacharya, Pattabhi Joyce was also following very similar, but he named it as Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. Okay, so you had Vinyasa Yoga from Pattabhi Joyce, and then you had Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga Vinyasa Yoga was from Krishnamacharya, and his student made it Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. His own style, he added some things, his own style. Iyengar started in that dynamic form, and later on he changed his style with all these props, and you'll see all these belts and blocks, yoga blocks and alignments, and so he moved towards that. even though he started in that dynamic form, right? Towards end, he was more known for the alignment and using of props and those kind of things. Okay. So that he named as Iyengar style yoga. Now, where is Hatha Yoga coming into all of this? And where is the old Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga? Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga doesn't mention too much about physical activities. It is more to do with mind, right? About asanas, he talks about only like a few lines. That's it. Sthiram, Sukham, Asanam and all that. So he doesn't mention too much about physical poses. So where is today's Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga coming, or Ashtanga Yoga coming? Okay, that is all coming from Pattabhi Jois and the followers and the students of Pattabhi Jois. So that Ashtanga Yoga should not be confused with Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. Right? Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga is more mind-related things. Today's Ashtanga Yoga and Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga is more physical. So you have yoga postures done dynamically in a gymnastic form. Different types of Surya Namaskaram and all that. Or it's very similar to Surya Namaskaram. Right? So that is Ashtanga Yoga today, Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga today. Now Hatha Yoga, we are all from the Nath Sampradaya. So Nath Sampradaya, all the Nath guys are the authors of Hatha Yoga. So Hatha Yoga was all these, physical poses you see, static poses, were all created by Gorakhnath, Matsyendranath, all these famous yogis, starting from Adinath, who is Shiva. You had Shiva, then you have Matsyendranath, then Gorakhnath. That's Nath Sampradaya is following like that. And they were the founders or practitioners of Hatha Yoga. Right? Now, in Nath Sampradaya and this Hatha Yoga lineage, it is not just to do with these physical poses. So you have asanas, different types of asanas, like hundreds of different types of asanas, even thousands of asanas are there. So Hatha Yoga is not just that. And the main thing about Hatha Yoga, which they were talking about, is things with mudras and all, which is Mahamudra, Mahabheda Mudra, right? Kechari Mudra, Vajroli Mudra. Okay, so these are all what we are learning in our Kundalini Yoga processes. Okay, so those were all coming from the Nath Sampradaya. These were all part of Hatha Yoga. So Hatha Yoga, you should not confuse it just with what? The physical poses. Hatha Yoga also includes the Kundalini practices, Kriya Yoga practices. Even, different masters came in. They named, some people called it Kriya Yoga. They took a part of Hatha Yoga, named it Kriya Yoga. Some people took a part of Hatha Yoga, named it Kundalini Yoga. Right? But end of the day, it is all coming to the same lineage. Right? So now you understand. But today when you talk about Hatha Yoga, normally people just think about static poses. That is Hatha Yoga. This is what people think about. Right? No problem. Let people think about, because different people taught it in a different way. But the origins of Hatha Yoga is not just physical poses, but all these bandhas, mudras, all of that was there within Hatha Yoga. Even Tantra Yoga was part of that. Right? So left-handed Tantra, right-handed Tantra, all of that was more of the left-handed Tantra was part of Hatha Yoga. Right? So there is a lot of confusion here, okay, because of different teachers who have taught over so many years. But for us, we are doing a form of yoga which is an amalgamation of all of this. So we have power yoga, we have flow yoga, we have kundalini practices, all of this. So it is an amalgamation of all of this. So what we have done is we have taken the best of everything. Tuck, 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 tuck. Right? And we are practicing that to see where we are going. So for example, some people will like power yoga more. Do power yoga more. Some people like the gymnastic style, Ashtanga, Vinyasa style yoga. Do that more, no problem. But end goal, end results is all coming to the same thing. So any questions on this?